New at 11, we are going to show you right here breast implants that contained 3 pounds of cocaine. Airport security in Spain discovered them when a woman kept giving vague answers to their questions. She was patted down and bloodied bandages were found under her breasts. Police were not convinced that it was from a routine operation and they hauled her off to the hospital. The cocaine was worth about $100,000. Colorado's governor says now is the time to talk about gun control. Now, you might remember he resisted calls to review state gun laws after the Aurora movie theater tragedy. But Governor John Hickenlooper tells the Associated Press that enough time has passed. He also says the legislative session in January would be an appropriate time to take up a debate on gun control measures. Colorado may start looking into revamping the vehicle inspection program after a state audit was released, according to the Denver Post this morning. The audit findings indicate when you start your car, it'll pass emissions 93% of the time. The Denver Post reports the audit recommends exempting 2001 manufactured vehicles and newer from emissions testing. Right now, only cars manufactured in the last 4 years are exempt. If that kind of a change were made, it would save drivers millions of dollars in inspection fees. Today, we're learning more about the deal CU has reached with its new head football coach. Mike McIntyre's contract was made official just yesterday by the Board of Regents. And in addition to the 5-year, $10 million base contract, he could earn a lot more if his players perform in the classroom. And if he leads them to a bowl game, there is even more money. The deal goes up to as much as $250,000 for a BCS bowl game, $750,000 for a national championship. Perhaps more realistically, if the Buffs win 7 regular season games next year, the new coach would get an extra $50,000, which would climb to $75,000 if they would win 8 regular season games. She was hit and pinned under a car while holding her 2-year-old daughter. Today, the Aurora mother shares her harrowing story. She tells 7 News reporter Doug Shepman that she is thankful for the rescuers who literally lifted that car off her, and she feels lucky to be alive.
I'm glad. I'm happy to be here today.
Kapinga Mwanza had just picked up her 3 children from daycare on December 3rd when she and her daughter were struck by a car. Both were pinned underneath, and witnesses quickly came to help.
I was praying that God helped me with my kid. I was just trying to cover my girls so the car doesn't go over her. And I was lifting my hand to tell him to push the car back so I can feel comfortable. So as soon as he said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then I pass out.
Everybody was just like, "Oh my God!" So he counted to 3, and we just got the car right up off her.
Mwanza is still recovering in the hospital 9 days after the accident, surrounded by flowers, balloons, and get well cards. She says the worst part of the recovery is missing her children.
They just say, "Mommy, the car hit you. The car is not your best friend, Mommy." They're everything for me. So that's why I try to protect them.
And as for the heroes who rescued she and her 2-year-old daughter?
I want to meet them and say thank you. At least say thank you to them. If they have a chance to come to see me, just give them a hug.
Doug Shepman, 7 News.
What a remarkable story. Amazingly, Kapinga's 2-year-old daughter was only slightly injured, and she was released from the hospital the day after the accident. Well, they're the last thing you want to see in your rearview mirror, flashing police lights. But besides getting a ticket, one Texas man also received a gift.
Opened it up, and there's a $100 bill. I was like, I broke down in my car. What else do you do? You know?
When Hayden Carlo was stopped for an expired registration, he told the officer he didn't have the money for his car inspection because he was trying to feed his children. So the Plano policeman handed over that $100 gift with the citation. The officer prefers to remain anonymous, but his Plano, Texas department is speaking out for him.
This is not something that is uncommon, not only in our department, but in law enforcement. It's just you never really hear about these acts. I don't know as far as how often he's done this in the past. I know this individual personally. He is a very, very upstanding, not only officer, but a human being.
The spokesman says Carlo used that money to get his inspection and that the ticket would be dismissed.